Oh great, here we go again. Stay away! Hi folks, this is TabiAsobi, and today I'll be sharing my thoughts on my hands-on playthrough of the Shadows of Rose DLC from the upcoming Resident Evil Village Gold Edition that's releasing next month. Yeah, so I recently got a chance to play a few minutes of the upcoming DLC for Resident Evil Village Gold Edition during a visit to Capcom's US headquarters in San Francisco, and I must say, it's looking to be another solid addition to the series' lore. Now, I wasn't allowed to record my own footage, so I'll be using B-roll provided by Capcom to media folks who attended the event. Anyway, as you can see, Shadows of Rose has you playing as Ethan Winter's daughter Rose, who finds herself struggling to survive after being trapped in a spooky mansion. Now, where have I heard this story before? It's a conundrum that requires Rose to rely on her powers to survive, which is ironic because she started this whole journey in an attempt to quote-unquote cure herself of her powers so she can live her life as a normal human being. But what's a normal human being, really? I mean, I don't have powers personally, but some folks think that I'm not normal either. Now, the first thing you'll likely notice is the prevalence of these pools of dark mold all over the mansion. If you're getting Megamycete mold vibes from Resident Evil Village, you're definitely onto something there. Now, these things aren't just there for cosmetic effect either, since you'll actually end up being dragged to what I can only imagine is a very, very, very bad place if you walk over it for too long. This is actually something I learned the hard way during my hands-on session, and this happened right as a staffer from Capcom was warning me about walking on the mold. He's like, yeah, you don't want to walk on the mold too long, and I'm like, I could just see Charles Darwin looking at me from the afterlife and shaking his head vigorously to the point that he evolves a second neck. Anyway, you'll need to find alternate routes or solve puzzles to get rid of the mold that basically block your way. Yeah, so figuring out how to progress Rose's journey while safely navigating these toxic pools is basically a big part of the gameplay in Shadows of Rose. Along the way, you'll also run into these monsters known as Face Eaters. I'll give you one guess as to what they specialize in. And yes, it involves doing something to your face. And it's not massaging it, that's for sure. Otherwise, they'd be called the face massagers. The good news is that you find a gun early into the game that you can use against them. The bad news is that ammo is pretty limited, which is a tried and true formula in Resident Evil games to ratchet up the tension. These Face Eaters also like to gang up on you, which can make it difficult to shoot them all down before they, well, eat your face. Fortunately, you're eventually able to access Rose's powers, which lets you freeze them in place briefly to buy you some time to shoot them down. You can also use Rose's ice power to freeze mold cores, allowing you to get rid of the attached mold and get through previously inaccessible areas. Kind of like the toxic fuzzy ooze in Splatoon 3. Another interesting thing is the mysterious helper who assists Rose as she tries to survive within the Megamycete's realm of consciousness. So that's basically where you are. The Megamycete's realm of consciousness. Try saying that 10 times real fast. Yeah, so this mysterious helper's assistance comes in the form of glowing written words that give her advice as she goes through her journey. Anyway, there are a lot more interesting things that I noticed during my playthrough, but I'm not allowed to talk about them due to the NDA that I signed. It's like one of those, I can tell you, but I'll have to kill you type of things. Or maybe they'll have to kill me, who knows. I'm saying all that figuratively, of course. Let's just make that clear. Needless to say, I liked what I saw, and it appears that Shadows of Rose is shaping up to be another fun survival horror romp for Resident Evil fans, especially if you prefer the classic third-person perspective of the series. As always, if you have any thoughts or questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section. Once again, this is TabiAsobi, and thank you for watching.
So, what am I supposed to do with this thing? Focus? All right.